This year, Southeast Asia's most iconic thought leaders and innovators came together for the inaugural Summit X. It's time for an exclusive insight into the latest development in the Web3 scene and how the metaverse, the esports scene, and venture capital play parts in this new ecosystem.
If you want autonomous AI to
In today's landscape, I think
We're actually, interestingly, in agriculture.
some challenges.
What do you think sets Southeast Asia apart from everywhere else in the world, and what makes it so exciting?
Yeah, maybe I'll go on first. I think population, right? I think if you look at Vietnam, we have around 90 to 100 million population, and most of them, I would say 65% or 55% is below 35 years old. Same as Indonesia as well, right? 250 million population, and almost more than half is below 35. So what do they do? And I think, why do I come into esports? You know, I'm a very traditional sports person. I went to an esports event in Jakarta in 2018. You look at 5,000 kids behind me, like in a badminton game, putting clappers. This is the next generation, right? And I would say sports and esports, maybe a lot of esports people say, is it the same? It's the same, right? I think, and these are fans. And younger kids nowadays, I have many football clubs talking to me and said, I'm losing fans. Most of my fans are above 40, you know, all old men going to watch the games. How do we interact with the next generation? So here they are, right? They're all watching games at home, and, you know, so how do we get them out to watch the games rather than being at home? I think, and that's why, you know, there's so much potential in Southeast Asia. I was in Cambodia, that's now having the SEA Games next week for the Mobile Legends Cambodia playoff. 2,000 fans inside the stadium and more queuing outside. This is the next generation watching esports.
Yeah. Yes, right?
Yeah, I'll tap on real quick regards to Southeast Asia market. I think it's exceptionally exciting. The reason why is because we work with majority of Southeast Asian teams, right? Like we have like our EVOS, we work with EVOS, the likes of RSG as well. So one of the key things I feel that is very exciting as compared to that is because we work with multiple brands as well, like game developers or brands or even Web3 games, right? And one of the key things is that they want to look at mobile focused games, right? And one of the key target markets is Southeast Asia. Like if we propose the EU, NA teams, like they aren't really in mobile games, right? They are, but not as huge as Southeast Asia. So I feel that this key area is huge for them. And with regards to what, just to add on to what Mark said earlier on, with regards to sports team looking to target the younger fans, we have seen sports teams, like even football clubs like Wolves, they are working with EGs to target the esports side of things. And we can all say that, you know, Wolves is quite established themselves. They don't really need an esports market in terms of new money, but I feel that it's really for the future side of things, right? In terms of the fan growth, and they kind of like transition to older groups as well. They have that sort of fan retention per se. So definitely, I feel that Southeast Asia is still a huge market in terms of the emerging growth of the sort of targeted youth and targeted economy in terms of mobile aspect of things. So any of like the mobile games or anyone who's doing Web3 games is targeting mobile, Southeast Asia is a huge market.
I'll just add on to this. And one key point that both speakers talked about was youth. And if we look at Philippines and you look at the CAT Arena and what they're doing at Conquest, which is one of the biggest exhibitions in Southeast Asia, you're looking at them targeting the universities where there are collegiate leagues, where there are a new engaged audience every single year because people just move up, you know, in terms of age, and they'll enter university eventually. And so like all these brands are then exposed to new audiences every single year. So this is one other opportunity for everybody.
I echo that same sentiment. So besides setting what Skoga does with our Esports Academy, we are seeing a lot of interest at the college level, I think in Southeast Asia for esports specifically, not just on the not just on the education aspect, but for example, we do have an IP called Campus Legends that we've been running in Singapore for the last 5 years. This year is the first time we're actually bringing it to the Malaysia and Philippine markets with license holders. So they are getting a lot of interest from sponsors, from schools themselves, of, you know, how do we involve our students more? How do we involve our clubs more? And I think there's a lot of, you know, opportunity there to bring a certain form of structure, a localized structure, you know, where we can adapt best practices in Singapore and export it to these regions. So I think that's really where I see a lot of opportunities coming up for us.